Hello, everyone. Imagine living in a world where the legal system mirrors the swift justice that we see on crime shows, where the good guys always win and the bad guys get punishment. Well, unfortunately, the reality is a stark contrast. For many, delays, confusion, and a system that feels indifferent to our suffering. Like most people, my experience with the legal system was TV shows. I had yet to learn that for the average person, the reality of the court system is often complex and confusing. Also, the fact is that the DA works for the state and not for the victim. It leaves us, the victims, to get involved and show that we are knowledgeable and fight for justice. Reality is being caught in the red tape of the legal process, where days turn into months, months turn into years, waiting for a semblance of justice. This was my reality. A reality where my rights guaranteed by the Cvra, that's a Crime Victims' Rights Act, were systematically denied, leaving me and my son in limbo in injustice. Now, the Crime Victims' Rights Act, which we're going to call from now on the Cvra, inspired states across the U.S. to adopt similar laws, which means there are also state-specific laws to protect victims. Most states have Victim Services Division, a particular unit dedicated to helping victims by offering support. However, how well these rights are supported can vary depending on where you are at in the country, and the DA is supportive. In my case, he was not. It is crucial to understand your state's federal and specific laws. Victims whose rights are ignored can seek help from the court. Writ of mandamus. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I probably didn't pronounce that correctly. Next, you should contact the state's representative at the Victim Service Division. If this does not work, go to the elected DA and then the Attorney General, who is also elected. This is easier said than done. As you know, the judicial system is closely knit, with a solid internal loyalty that can sometimes affect the objectivity and fairness that you will get. Now, you can be vocal and contact the local media, such as newspapers, TV channels. You know, the DAs were elected. I trusted the DA to keep me appraised of what was happening and protect my rights. If I had understood my rights, it would have been beneficial to grasp the situation and take action to ensure my son received the justice he was due, rather than being treated as merely a case file. Now, this added to my trauma of waiting every day, putting my life on hold, and thinking that the trial was soon. It was traumatizing when I was pleading for details and was intentionally fed incorrect information to prevent my attendance at the hearings, a right of mine. The effectiveness of laws hinges on the district attorney's office commitment to enforcing them. Here's where it gets confusing. Remember, the DA works for the state, not the victim, okay? Now, the State Department of Criminal Justice Victim Services Division is a state victims' rights advocate. Those working for the DA's office help guide you through the legal system or support you in court, help you access services like therapy, financial aid, if the DA supports victims' rights. Now, this is why it is so crucial for you to have a representative who can effectively communicate your needs and situation when you cannot. This person should be someone the victim chooses, unaffected by shock or trauma, and capable of providing clear guidance on problems and steps that you need to be taken. Now, while dealing with a crime, you must know your rights. Seek the supportive information you need. Each state interprets the law differently. For example, in some states, you can only have an advocate who is a family member, i.e., parent or child. This is unfair, as in my case, my son was my family and now I am alone. Because of this and how the DA unfairly treated me, I am still being treated for PTSD. Now, there are many wonderful DAs and victims' rights advocates. However, some are not. Here's a list of generic rights the State Department of Criminal Justice can provide. A copy of your state CVRAs. Respect and dignity. You'd think that would be common sense, wouldn't you? But it isn't. Victims should be treated with kindness, making them feel valued and safe. Protection. The law shields victims from further harm or harassment by the criminals or the defendants. Information. You have the right to know the details of your case, including the court dates and the charges. Voice. Your input is crucial to decisions affecting the criminal's fate, from plea deals to parole and beyond. Influence. Sharing your ordeal with the prosecution team puts a human face on the case, guiding their strategy. This is where victims' rights come in. You are the grease for this squeaky wheel. You know the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, you have to be that grease. Restitution. The financial toll of the crime shouldn't be your burden to bear. Now, the criminal or defendant is liable for compensation. I don't know about that one, but updates. Stay informed about critical milestones like sentence, conviction, and release. The essence of the CVRA and Marcy's Law, which I explained in another video, is not just about legal jargon and procedural formalities. It's about, well, humanizing the legal process and ensuring victims are seen, heard, and protected. Knowledge of these rights is a powerful tool in the quest for justice, a beacon of hope in the darkest times. The DA may have 1,000 cases. Your loved one is a case number. That's reality. Another reality is that plea deals and probation are easy ways to get cases off the DA's desk. So this is why it is better for you to be a squeaky wheel, to ensure you, the victim, gets justice. I am not an attorney, but I am a proud mother of Dr. Kenley G Raney and Marshall, his furry companion, who lost their lives January 25th, 2019, as they slept. Thank you.